Why is it so hard to save money in 2023? This question might be buzzing around your head, especially if you're a financial enthusiast or a young adult trying to navigate through this economic maze. The current financial climate has been a game of snakes and ladders. Just when you think you're moving up, a snake of a problem slides you right back down. Let's talk about the challenges. Inflation is like that invisible thief in the night, silently robbing you of your purchasing power. You're working hard, but the money you're earning doesn't seem to go as far as it used to. Next up, the specter of student debt. Many of us are starting our financial journey with a mountain of debt, like a weight tied around our ankles. This makes it harder to save, invest, and build wealth. And let's not forget about housing affordability. A recent poll by CNBC and Generation Lab found that over half of young adults believe it's much harder to purchase a home now than it was for their parents. With housing affordability at its worst since the 2008 financial crisis, it's no wonder that the dream of homeownership seems out of reach for many. Inflation, student debt, and housing affordability, three major roadblocks standing in the way of your financial freedom. Inflation, often referred to as the invisible thief, is one of the major reasons saving money has become a Herculean task. But what is inflation? Simply put, it's the increase in the price of goods and services over time. It's like a stealthy pickpocket that gradually empties your wallet while you're not looking. Let's paint a picture here. Imagine you've saved $100 in 2023. A year later, due to inflation, that $100 can't buy the same amount of stuff. Maybe you could have bought 10 bags of groceries last year, but now you can only afford 9. That's inflation at work, silently eroding your purchasing power. And when you're trying to save for the future, this becomes a serious problem. If the cost of living increases faster than your savings grow, you're essentially running in place, or worse, moving backward. It's like trying to climb a hill that's constantly getting steeper. This is another reason why it is important to own appreciating assets, as inflation will typically benefit things like real estate, stocks, and other assets. Inflation is a silent challenge, but understanding it is the first step in tackling it. Next up is student debt, a burden that seems to grow heavier with each passing year. It's a juggernaut that's been rolling on, gathering momentum, and becoming a significant barrier to financial freedom for many young adults. Let's delve into this a bit. Imagine, if you will, a typical graduate who, along with their shiny new diploma, is handed a bill. This bill, often amounting to tens of thousands of dollars, is the price they pay for higher education. It's a hefty price tag that can take years, if not decades, to pay off. This is another reason why I am a huge advocate for going into trades or even a certificate program, as you can typically enter a field of high demand, with a small investment in education, and begin working right away. This debt is not just a personal burden, but it also has far-reaching effects on the economy as a whole. It drains resources that could have been directed towards savings or investments. It affects the ability to buy homes, start businesses, or even just afford the basics. It's like a chain around the ankle, dragging down those who are just starting to climb the economic ladder. But here's the kicker. This isn't just a problem for individuals. It's a societal issue. The collective student debt in the country has reached staggering heights. And it's a problem that isn't going away anytime soon. It's a cycle that needs to be broken, a pattern that needs to change. Again, I think exploring other options in high-demand jobs or something in the trade sector is a worthwhile alternative to overpriced universities. A best-case scenario, in my opinion, is to find a job which will pay you to learn a skill. This can be found in jobs such as law enforcement, some trades, and many others such as military, marine workers, and more. Consider options before pulling the trigger on a pricey education. Student debt, a heavy weight on the shoulders of the young generation, hindering their ability to save. Finally, let's tackle the elephant in the room: housing affordability. The dream of owning a home can often seem like a mirage for millennials and Gen Z. Why is that, you ask? The housing market has become a formidable beast with surging prices that outpace income growth. Remember, this is a time when housing affordability is at its worst since the 2008 financial crisis. Now, let's put things into perspective. Over half of adults aged between 18 and 34 believe that it's harder to purchase a home now than it was for their parents. It's not just a feeling, it's a harsh reality. The cost of homes has skyrocketed, and when you pair this with challenges such as inflation and student debt, the dream of homeownership drifts further away. This has a significant impact on savings. For many, the bulk of their income is gobbled up by rent, leaving little to squirrel away for a future home. The result? A generation that is more likely to move back home and a disappearing middle class. Housing affordability, or the lack thereof, is a glaring issue that makes saving money even more challenging. So, we've addressed the three major issues making it hard to save money in 2023. Inflation has been eroding the value of our hard-earned money. Student debt, that heavy weight many of us carry, is making it difficult to get ahead. And let's not forget housing affordability. The dream and the reality are often worlds apart. These are significant challenges that can seem overwhelming. Yet, understanding these issues is the first step towards overcoming them. It's essential to know that inflation is a part of our financial landscape. But with smart investing, its impact can be mitigated. Student debt may feel like an anchor, but remember, there are options for refinancing and repayment plans to lighten the load. As for housing, it's about balance, knowing when to buy, when to rent, and how to save for that future home. Despite these hurdles, it's important to remember that with the right strategies, it's still possible to save. It's about being informed, making smart decisions, and staying persistent. Yes, saving money in 2023 is tough. But with knowledge, strategy, and persistence, you can navigate these financial hurdles and build towards financial freedom. Stay tuned for more, and drop a comment and a like if you have suggestions or find any value in my videos.